All right, so this morning I come from the gym, I sit down, I turn my 2001 77-inch C1 OLED on, and I'm prompted with the new game mode that's on here, right? So his settings, take a look. And the cool thing about it is, instead of you having to manually go in and set everything up, they just have a lot of quick settings just at your disposal. So for like what your picture setting is going to be, tells you that you have the low latency turned on. If you have the AMD FreeSync Premium turned on, you even get a frame per second counter on here, which is pretty darn awesome, right? And you still have the opportunity to go to all settings, which would be the settings of the TV, or to the game optimizer, which when you click this option, it's going to take you to what you typically would have to go to, where you can modify your black stabilizer, your white stabilizer. You can reset that. You can mess around with input latency, put it on boost or standard. Tells you if you want to have the game dashboard on. If you're going to have AMD FreeSync Premium on, or VRR and G-Sync on, either of those two options, you can toggle on, toggle off. And then as you can see, it'll immediately adjust whatever settings that you do have present. So this is really, really good stuff. You can bring it back to me. So immediately I'm like, hey man, let me actually test this to see how accurate it is. Cause this is like a big step for this TV and the technology and what we can expect going forward in the coming years when these TVs are re-released and redid and whatnot. So I have the Xbox Series X set up. You can have a seat and take a look at this. And what I want to actually do is run a game that I know is at 30 frames per second. Now, this is just to test how accurate this frame rate counter is. So right now it's reading 59 frames per second. All right. Actually, let me do that again. So quit this. Start this game up again. So it adjusted from 40 to 50 when the game was turned on. So indicates that it's tracking something, right? The problem that I already realized before having my son hit record on this is that it's not tracking the frames of the actual title that it's playing, right? It's like locked at this 59 frame per second. See, it switched from 40 to 59. I'm going to see what happens when I actually get a game going. Okay. This is Destiny 1, not Destiny 2. So Warlock. So now at this point, this game runs at 30 frames per second. Like it's a fact. Like you don't have to believe me. Just research anything. This game runs at 30. You just go. Okay. So at no point right now, because I haven't actually started a game where I went to a planet, but at no point is it dropping down to 30.
Years after the collapse, the world had no guard.
I don't need to hear all of that. At no point has it dropped down to 30 frames per second, which is what this game is 100% locked at. Like it doesn't run at 60 at all. And so that's kind of annoying to me. My expectation would be that this would actually count my frames of the actual game that I'm playing, right? So now I'm actually in game. It's a whole 30 frames per second, which I love Destiny 1, but I don't like playing it because the 30 frame per second just feels really like, I don't know, it's not good. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. Okay, so we got that figured out, right? Let me close this and I'll switch my input to HDMI 3, which I have a full gaming PC. If you can just go and get a glance at that. A full tower NZXT H510 tower, has an RTX 3080 inside of it. Okay. i9 processor, yada, 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 all that jazz. Okay. All right, let's bring it back to this. So I already have this game turned on. We're running at max settings, complete max settings. If you know, the 3080 has 10 gigs of video RAM. So I'm in 4K. VSync is turned off. You can either lock this thing to 60 or 30. I got it completely turned on. The frame rate cap is 200 field of view. Everything is just completely turned on. Highest, 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 highest. You get the idea, right? Now, I actually have, and son, I want you to get up close to the TV so you can see the left screen. I have an actual, you hold Alt and hit R, and I've actually got a frame counter there for the GPU. So with all the settings I just showed you, that's what we're running, okay? 170 frames, yada, yada, right? I'm gonna leave that on and go to a planet. The problem is the TV is still reading 59. What is that? I mean, what are we trying to achieve here with this thing? I don't know. So every input is reserved, right? I have AMD FreeSync Premium turned off, obviously, because I'm using an RTX NVIDIA card. I have VRR and G-Sync turned on. Okay, so I get hella frames, man. I'm at like 100 frames now, 90 frames, right? I mean, everything's turned up. It's butter smooth. Smooth as hell. Let's get a look and see so you can see what controller I'm using, son. Right here. Just, no, you can sit back there. Yeah, so I'm playing on the keyboard and mouse. It's Corsair lap board, right? I mean, I'm not a great Destiny player, but just to show you, like, it's super smooth. But my frame counter on the TV has not, it's not changing. Like, so I really don't know, man. I feel like while it's cool, the TV's not actually showing me, it's not giving me a realistic representation of what I have going on screen. Let me try this little trick here. Well, I try to force me to be able to turn on the frame counter for the TV, but I don't think you can do it if you have FreeSync turned off. But yeah, so that's what today's video is about. Today's video is about, I'm excited that we have this new feature. If you got a C1 or a G1 OLED, it's a damn cool feature. I mean, it's dope that I can adjust on the fly presets, but there doesn't appear to be any accuracy with this thing actually capturing my frames. Now, this is connected using HDMI. Obviously, this TV doesn't have a display port on it. So it's HDMI 2.1. The graphics card has that. The console has that. I have the PS5 that has that. But it's, number one, not tracking. You can bring it back to me. Number one, it's not tracking it's not tracking an accurate frame count for the console. I've tried it with PS5. I've tried it with Xbox. It doesn't matter if the game is playing at 60 frames per second or 30. It's showing 59, right? That's it. And then with a PC, it's obviously not counting up to 120 frames, which the TV does up to 120 and 80 frames. So it should be able to show me that. Maybe I'm missing something. If you're an enthusiast or you happen to have this, you have a little bit more information on it, let me know. But today I turned the TV on and the update was there. So I was excited to see this feature here, but disappointed that it's not giving me the accuracy. Now, of course, I have a gaming PC, so I can see what frames I'm running, but I think that's a miss. Maybe it'll be addressed in an update. I don't know. Today's the first day that it came out, but that's what I got. Leave me comments, like, subscribe, all of that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Max love.